I know I'm from the east to the west, north to the south. Yeah, let's come together as one. They say united we stand, divided we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget that. You from Lower County, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Railway Station. I'm a bad dad, we own young people. I walk on the fine way. La villa, I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land of liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land of liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Master Square on the mix.
Check it out, but I like this one.
They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was raised in the sun, but I trip with my girls. Stepping on the low, but we fall for the bones. True son of the soul, I'm a place in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love LFB. Even though it's far, when we show we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I'm holding your own. United, we stay, divided, we fall. So that's what they say when I can't with ball. When I chill it on that side, I get no bro. I got L to the O to the B, and then E. If we fight it together, we can conquer this thing. On the east to the west, and waving the flag from the north to the side. Yeah, that's joining the team. You go where you fella, you come out. Who cares? Who got the show?
I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land of liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mama was gone, yeah. Papa was gone, yeah. The whole school, yeah. The hand is gone, yeah.
Good evening, welcome to Open Conversation. Open Conversation is a 2-hour current affairs program that talks about the major happenings in Liberia. And here we are today, very ecstatic and energetic to bring Liberia's issue to the people of Liberia. So wherever you are, let's use this open opportunity and platform to welcome all of you to the biggest thing happening on radio at about this time in Liberia. We officially want to welcome you to Open Conversation. And my name is Washington Prince Tapper Jr. And let me cross now to usher in my host. Welcome and good evening. Today's Tuesday. We have less than 21 days to elections.
I like the way you keep counting. And of course, I love Liberia. 20 more days, and then we are electing new corps of officers.
Yep.
That is, exciting, and we all can't wait for that to happen. And so this is how we like to welcome you to Open Conversation on this wonderful Tuesday. We bless God for another opportunity to be counted amongst the living. Whether we like it or not, or whether we believe it or not, we are who we are, and we are alive today as a result of the special grace of God. And so it's good to be here this evening again for the next 2 hours. Maybe 1 hour, 46 minutes or 44 minutes. We will be here. And wherever you are listening to us, we'd like to welcome you. However you're listening, we'd like to welcome you to Open Conversation. My name is Titi Jibo.
So welcome again. And we're here to do the Liberian people's job. So Open Conversation has a trend, and the trend is that we introduce our guests. We go into the trending issues of the day, the issues that are making airwaves, and then we discuss the issues in depth, and we take your calls, and then we invite our guests into the studio for discussion. So let me put it back to you tonight. Who be our guest?
Okay, so our guests are members of the CDC National Campaign Team. We've got 3 guests I almost said this morning. This evening, in studio, we will have Tamajoni of Liberia is how
Tamajoni of
he's
Liberia.
affectionately called, Jerry Peters, and Talizwe. They are our guests this evening on Open Conversation, but let's start the conversation with what's trending.
Let's start the conversation with what's trending, and we definitely know that it's going to be a very, very intriguing and firing moment with these 3 young and energetic people. So, as we all may know, today, the magistrate court, the Simpos Bridge Magistrate Court, we told you, as the day passes, we are going to give you updates on the issue that has to do with Lucas. What is his last name? Richard. Yeah, the issue that has to do with Lucas and Jessica. It's always trending because the Liberian people are concerned, and they are eager to know the next move of the Liberian government when it comes to the protection of the lives of Jessica. So today the court was finally able to send Lucas to jail as the investigation unfolds. So currently the government is taking some stands against the act being allegedly perpetrated by Lucas until he can be brought down guilty of whatever the charges are. So but there are a couple of things that we still talk in this matter. It must go out. It must cut across. It is a caveat. It's a warning to all of us. We have to be very, 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 very mindful. We have to be very careful of our affiliation, our social attachment, and all of that, because these are things that will land us into trouble. And see where Jessica is currently, with a cutthroat. This alleged murderer would have just taken away this girl's life without if it wouldn't have been the help of that a tricyclist or motorcyclist. I don't know wherever it is. But it is God who placed that boy to that particular position to have saved the life of this girl, Jessica. So the story been explained by Lucas, totally different story. Jessica explained different story, and the family is calling, for justice and accountability for what happened to Jessica, and the government, through the angle of the Liberia National Police and all of those parastatals that are responsible for this case, is doing just what the Liberian people anticipate. So this is where we are with the Lucas and Jessica issue. He's currently behind bars and he's awaiting a court prosecution. So let me hear your view on this.
In our Liberian parlance, we say God can sleep.
You say so, you slow but sure.
Yeah, God can sleep. 99 days parole, 1 day for the master. Lucas is behind bars now for criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault. But the thing about it is, this guy, with that kind of intent to, kill another person, and he really didn't even. I know he sits and then he wonders how it happened, because this is something he planned to do, to kill this girl, and after killing her, he would tell a blanket lie. Look at what he was saying. That, I know in Liberia, when the motorcyclists see you, they come around, they want to hurt you. That's why I jumped in a car and then I started running and I didn't hurt anybody. So that was, I just tried to think about the story he would have told, where Jessica to not have made it, where she to have died. He was going to lie through his teeth that, this lady, he had nothing to do with, what happened to her. Even if, even at the point where he was caught, because just imagine, he was caught, because that guy rescued Jessica, but he still thought in his mind, because he felt that Jessica would not have made it, he used knife already.
Yes.
So he said, let me just tell this lie because I don't think she's going to live. And even if that guy, through the mercy of God, what if that, that good Samaritan had not seen him to go after the two of them? He would have killed her, dumped her body, and we will be singing another story here. Politicians will want to make, will want to want to gain relevance as a result of that and place everything squarely on the head of the government. So that kind of man should be given speedy trial so that he can spend the rest of his sorrowful life, behind bars. It's just sad that somebody will be that wicked to want to kill him. What did Jessica do to him so much? And he's here under the disguise of being a missionary.
Yeah.
Teaching at a Bible school. And people have a lot of respect for him because of his color. And they say he comes from America.
A reproach to the church.
People, a real reproach. And that is why God exposed him, because you cannot be, you can be parading around here in another man's country as a man of God. You're serving God, you're pretending, and under your sleeves you got something. It's better to just be a sinner and be a sinner.
We need to even check further. Maybe Jessica may not be the only person.
I'm telling you, that man might have murdered a lot of people, because what is the motive?
Exactly.
What is the motive? What has Jessica done so much? For me, I don't want to dwell on the love issue because we all are different.
Yeah.
Women, are very, whether you like it or not, but women are very weak.
Yes. Different.
And we're quick to believe a man when he says something because you are the weaker vessel. So I don't want to dwell on that. But that act, what did she really do? I really want Lucas to tell the Liberian people, in court, what exactly did Jessica do that warrants that? And how many persons, how many Jessicas has he killed? Since he's been in Liberia, people need to check.
I'm pretty sure.
That princess girl who died the other time when they were putting it on the government that the government killed her and blah, blah, blah. Who knows what is another, Lucas who committed that act? Who knows?
We cannot perpetrating all around people do these things and they put the blame on other people. They put the blame on other institutions. They put the blame on the government.
In this, election
in this political time.
Period.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see
that guy, not to have been caught, then we're talking something different.
Oh, yeah.
The opposition will be running with that, they even know exactly what has happened, but because it's political. And then you take the family members, their family issue, you take it and throw it on social media. You make a big deal out of it, even though you know nothing about it. That is what Lucas was going to put the government in. I don't know how many persons he has killed.
Now look at one of the devilish, something he said. What the thing is, I help her with $150 every month. You understand?
Who cares about that?
Yeah, I have a $150 every month.
Who cares?
So you did not even want to know that you and this lady were into, some social affairs. You did not even mention that.
Killing a lot of people.
So that's why the police need to go further.
The police can go further. They send him to court. He goes to court. When he goes to court, he will explain himself.
We need to investigate more. More investigation needs to be conducted.
Of course, that will happen in court now.
Yeah.
He will have a lawyer. So, the people who brought him to this country, under the people who he worked for. When that thing happened, the only thing they posted on their social on their website was that Lucas was attacked in Liberia. Up to now that the victim is speaking out. They have not come back to say anything.
You have to retract that what they said.
And these are people who are supposed to be, people of God. What has the world turned into? What? They have not come back to say we're sorry, to identify with Jessica, who was one of their students because she was in the Bible school.
Exactly.
And this man who should be teaching somebody the word of God is there planning and even sleeping with people in the Bible school.
You see that?
And he says that, his wife is old and he needs to marry a younger woman. But his wife doesn't even know that he's married to Jessica and his wife is in America. It's just sad that people would just go undercover just to perpetuate wickedness in the name of God.
Use the Bible to perpetuate the act that he perpetuated, and and pretend to be what you call it, a missionary.
He's a God of men, not men of God.
I think he called himself God. Didn't call him either.
Yeah, of course. That's why I said he's a God of men and not men of God. And thank God that God showed himself mightily.
Very good.
Because if God didn't show himself mightily, that Lucas man would have killed Jessica, and then we'll be talking about politics all around here today. And the government will be running around here justifying something it knows nothing about.
We used to say 100 days for rule, right?
I said 99 days for
99
one
days
day to make it 100.
Yeah,
so
that Lucas on a 1 day.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying. So let's go to the next issue. That Senator Johnson spoke yesterday. Yes, he spoke yesterday. His speech it was predicated based upon the Unity Party parade. So we all know the Unity Party came out on Sunday, and predictably, Senator Johnson said, because the Unity Party came out on Sunday, that presupposes that the Unity Party, stands tall to winning these elections in October 2023. Now, there's something he said in that ignited violence, and it seems so insightful to create chaos and confusion in the country that when the government tries to tamper with the votes and the decision of the people will rise up against the government. Now, look, like we said here yesterday, people must be respectful of the law, and they must think. Look, to get political power is not on your personal persuasion or how you think, probably because your supporters turn out and you have already concluded that you've won the elections. There are times in Liberia, even you go back to 2005, go back to 2011. If we're talking about people turning out during political times and political periods in this country, the CDC in 2005 had the numbers. The CDC in 2011 pulled out the numbers. But what did the election results say? Is that Unity Party won the 2 elections. So now we've been in the opposition, probably because of some opposition solidarity or whatever it is. The people came out. Yes, they came out. They have the right to support you. But that doesn't mean that you've won the elections. So you can be giving threatening statements and remarks and making people to be afraid only because you have a history of hooliganism. This is bad. We should not encourage the Yeka form of politics to threaten the peace and to think that you've won the elections. So you've already declared yourself as the National Elections Commissioner to announce and to determine who wins the elections. CDC could also presuppose that they win the elections because they had a massive turnout. The people showed up. They came out. And your people came out. So let's go to the polls and let's see where the Liberian people's decision will lie. So don't come and be making all of these derogatory statements and be saying all kind of things, and you think that you've won the elections. This attitude must stop. If you want to win the elections with the Dermaco and Bwakatike and all of that, make sure you tell the people what you've done, what you are doing, and what you'll be able to do for the people. Now, because people came out on Sunday, so you're going to say you already win the election. When the government try and temper when the people vote, they both rise up against the government. Stop that. These statements are not necessary.
That's scare tactics, and it should be condemned.
Exactly.
If he's bloodthirsty, we're not in for that as a nation. Everybody knows the history of Senator Johnson. It's just sad that if you're losing it and you think you will go down with everybody, nobody's going down with anybody
not
here.
At all.
The people of Liberia are not the ones who are benefiting from your 3 times 9, 27 years of rule, for which they're going down with you. We've had it with warlords in this country, and Liberia is not ready for that anymore. We're putting our broken pieces together. You have, led what is it? What do they call it? How do they call their you've led a
Warren-
rebel group,
Warren
a
faction.
Warren faction in this country. You've benefited from the Liberian people. You've benefited
Still
at
benefiting.
the expense of the Liberian people during the war, and you are still benefiting at the expense of the Liberian people, even though there are reports that you're not giving back to the people you are representing adequately. And if the people are tired and they don't want you anymore, just step aside. So Senator Johnson should be condemned for these kind of comments. These are reckless comments. You cannot, as a senator of this country, be making such a comment. You know that when you go to elections, why didn't you make those kind of comments, when you were running the last time? Now you have people standing up to you. People are coming up in Nimba County and saying, this is not Senator Johnson's personal property. This senatorial seat of Nimba County is not a personal property, and other people are contesting against you, and you know that it's really, really tempting because you're not even sure whether you're going to win these elections in Nimba County or not. You are almost like a drowning man in Nimba County, as political pundits put it. And then you're leaning on the Unity Party, and you're believing that all of these things that you've said against, the former vice president, and even Jeremiah Kung, and God continues to expose you. They are praying men of God. They're already going to jail. So you should already know, in fact, that God is not sleeping on you people in this country, and He expose all of your deeds. And that is why God has been exposing, Senator Johnson. Every time he speaks in secret, that recording leaks, and the public gets to know exactly who he is.
His intention.
Yeah. And he thinks that he's doing it to, certain group of people, but then he gets exposed to the larger society. And that is something I believe that he doesn't like. Nobody likes that. You will not tell somebody something in confidence, in secret, and that person will recall you and then allow the whole world to hear exactly. And it's good that we have, observers in this country, international observers. It's good that our international partners, they have their eyes and their ears
fully
on
involved.
what is happening in this country. Senator Johnson will come up to a press conference and be threatening the peace. You know that if you're going to elections, you must have poll watchers. So if you have poll watchers, if we go to elections, and on elections day, people go and register, people go and vote. If you have your poll watchers there, right in that same room is where the counting takes place, and everybody is satisfied, because if I am a poll watcher, I'm there, the supervisors are there, you are there, you represent your party, then you represent your party, I represent my party. When it's time for counting, they show everything. That's how it's done here. And you have your tally sheet, I have mine, everybody has his or hers. And so the numbers will, we will corroborate all of the numbers, and the numbers will be pasted on the wall. So where is this cheating coming from? So where there is smoke, there is fire. So you have intentions to come and bring war back in this country. You will go down, because Liberian people are not ready for that.
It wouldn't be accepted.
And it's just a scare tactics, because nobody is even thinking about that thing you're thinking about. If you take gun, you go in the bush, only you and Yeke will be in that bush. And you and Yeke versus the people of Liberia, you can imagine what is going to happen. But you will not come back, because by the time he takes gun, it's him and Yeke, because all the young people in this country now want their lives to get better. Nobody is thinking about going down with Senator Johnson.
When I say you come back,
he enjoy, during the war, kill a lot of people here, and he is still enjoying at the expense of the Liberian people, and he wants to threaten the peace of this country. He should be condemned, Senator. That is not something that you should be talking about.
No.
That is not something you, of all people, should be talking about. When they talk about war crimes court, you don't want to even hear about that. You get so furious, and you think that the people who are talking about it are insane. But there are thousands of people who are suffering today, who don't have mothers, who don't have fathers, as a result of your war you brought into this country, your rebellion you led into this country. As a result, a lot of people are suffering. Exactly. People are trying to put their lives back together, and you come back to the media and you say that, somebody is planning to rig election. Rig election for what?
There wouldn't be a space for...
What have you done that will not keep you there, that is taking you from there? You will go to elections, you will have poll washers, and your poll washers will be there. If they will flog you, they will flog you.
There will be no space for Senator Johnson to bring any, insurrection in this country, because the Liberian people have developed their minds, and they are now willing to retrogress the progress of the country, because we know that the infusion of war in this country is a testimony of
Rip us
destruction
of our future,
Yes.
and then you come back here, we give you
Yes.
power, you're enjoying everything, and then you come back here and say you start to incite violence, and then you think that people are going to be happy about that. Try that thing here. You know what the Liberian people will do to you.
Exactly. So, do we have time?
Nah.
Okay. So let's go to the lines and take a few calls, and because we have three people here tonight. So that
So
means
you
we're
have
gonna have
one final a thing that is trending today also
Oh,
is
yes,
the Solicitor General.
yes, the Solicitor General, Councillor Inanti Toa,
Okay.
has been suspended from the case involving former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scott for allegedly tampering with the jurors. Yes. So the trial involving Councillor Scott is a juror trial. Now, all of these people are concealed from the public so that they can be tampered with. Councillor Twan represents the government because he's the chief prosecutor of the government. And this case is the government versus Councillor Scott. So that means the people who are going to determine whether the outcome of this case cannot be entertained by anybody. So it was alleged that the Solicitor General of the country and the chief prosecutor of the government of the Republic of Liberia,
the chief prosecutor for the government,
in this case was seen with
seen around where the jurors are.
Very good. So
as a result of that,
he was been suspended from the case. So this
is the right step in the right direction, so that we can have fair justice.
Exactly. So we don't raise suspicion. Because very good.
The outcome. Of the case.
Very good.
So that was a good move.
Yes, that was a good move, and he was fine.
The general should have known better.
Exactly.
Not to do what he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you shouldn't have even tempered any feet closer to where those people are. So let's go to the lines and take few calls on 08005140096. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
What's your name and where you call from?
I'm Sam from Moscow. I call from Ghana.
Go ahead, Sam.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys for the topic on the discussion. Therefore, the issue of the American
Lucas Rich is not rapper.
My man, let them call you anyway.
Thank you. Lucas.
Don't put no rapper mail.
Why Johnson? Why poor? And I see Aaron. Yeah.
There's an issue that he has been doing for years. It is called so far he has been doing.
Okay, you're coming in really broken. Anyway,
yes.
We got your point.
Good evening.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Good evening, Rose.
Yeah, but let us see the issues discussed by you people on the platform.
That's why you call.
They were the wicked Americans citizens. You get on the 20th election.
The what?
The one who have a lot of killing there all the time. You don't think that man paying for him more killing that they have that them putting the blame on the government? Yeah. And then for instance of death again, they can only be the opposition to print out that day by day. They can now come for our police in person. And then the issue with Senator Chelsea. Senator Chelsea, you don't own Liberia. You don't own the people who live in the country. They say, are you killing a person and you get feel proud to say it and you say you rescue the people of Nima. It's not the people of Nima have regretted all the years they worked with you. Because Nima said it for me, what was careful to you, they only benefit you and your family and not the entire country. So the people of Nima will not show these people minds to the current president. Yeah, we some president work tomorrow. I see mom the post to speak to the entire world tomorrow. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Rosetta. We didn't even talk about that. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, Maurita.
Good evening. Cool.
How are you?
Maurita, do the president for Chile.
Let's hear you, Mama.
You think I want to tell you
Thank you. You see, today in Johnson. So Prince Johnson is born naked and to kill people in this country. So they don't come back again, to come first of killing people again. Then our people supporting them. Then it can really mean sometimes I see what I can see back. And you see that our family today, that they're going through and nothing with our sex. Because a Prince Johnson that kill people in this country, that kill people. They are born naked. That is to death on a beach. One to kill. Today when the people are getting teeth to buy, or getting voice of God, let the people run to be talking. Let them keep talking.
Okay.
But as far as I say, there's so people.
Marita, you're going off the line. We're sorry. Let's take a break and okay, let's take this final caller and then we go for a break to usher in our guests.
Yeah, good evening, Washington, and good evening to First today.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is the Armstrong Bapu, chairman for We Are One Round Victory. Basically, let me say thank you for your level of support and discussion to our country, and I believe that what you people are doing helping us to make Mama Labra a better place. To the issue, firstly, about to disclose something to us. Today, I got to know that there are ministries, the agency, there are people who working in this government, are junior stars, suppressing other people, not to even discuss President We Are or the CDC in the various ministry and agencies. Today, I got to know today. Some young,
I mean, go to the point, man. When we discussing that 1 year, I will talk
to the point. I think Senator Johnson, I think yesterday, I remember yesterday when I was passing around Senator Johnson, the guy came and said, Mama, you could eat from the puppy, they got from Splinter, we eat from the puppy, and then one day they have that press conference, and they left, they went to Joseph Boakai to carry into JSK and have another press conference. I know those things that it can't help them. Seriously, look, we go in our bridges and we know what's going on. Our people have resolved. Just to tell you that our people have resolved, Monserrato County, when we were in opposition, we told the people that we own Monserrato. You saw what we did in Monserrato County.
Okay,
we cannot even count 20% of our crowd.
Okay.
From the east to the west, north to the south, yeah, let's come together. I know. They say you're not there, we stand, divided we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget that. You from Lova County, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa Sessi. I'm a bad that way on your river, I walk on the fine way. Tabila, I love Liberia, oh yeah yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah.
I was raised in the swamp, but I chilled with my gun. Kept it on the low, but we fought for the bone. True son of the soul, I'm a prince in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love LIB. Even though it's far, when we show we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I holding your own. United we stand, divided we fall. You know what I say when I come with ball. When I chill on that side, and I get no bro. I got L to the O to the V and the E. If we fighting together, we can conquer this team. From the east to the west, then waving the flag from the north to the side. Yeah, that's joining the team. You go where you fella, you love my crowd. Who kill it? Who got done?
I love Liberia, oh yeah yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah.
Mama was born, yeah. Papa was born, yeah. They hold us together, the honey boy, yeah. Nabali kena koya bake na papa kobo. Nabali kena koya bake na papa kobo. Nabali kola kobo na papa kobo. Nabali kola kobo na papa kobo. La biro waka poma o. La biro waka ma o. Balanda no waka ma o. I know I
From
can
the east to the west, north to the south, yeah, let's come together as one. They say united we stand, divided we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Walla, you from Gentile, you from Lower County, you from Maryland. Walla, you from Rewa Sesu. I'm a bad dad, we own young people. I walk on the coin, Kabila, I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land of liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land of liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Master Square on the mix.
Check it from but I like this one. Check it from but I like this one.
Okay, welcome back, fellow librarians. Welcome back. We pretty have our studio guests. They are uniquely seated in studio, so the conversation seems to be firing tonight with all of these young men seated. Let's cut across the table and welcome you individually. Gentlemen, good evening and welcome, and your self-introductions. Let's start with you.
Yes, the name is Tamajoni of Liberia.
Are you still Tamajoni of Liberia or
Sure.
Tamajoni of the CDT?
Yes, you can
Where are you?
actually indicate that defending the government of President George Weah, in other directions, and a man that understands the media landscape of Liberia.
Tamajoni of Liberia.
Becoming now a political commentator of our time.
I like that. Okay, it's good to have you.
Let's go to you, sir, in the middle. What's your name? Your microphone is off. Hold on, please. Hold on.
What mic are you on? Is it 2?
What's the number of your microphone, sir?
4.
Okay, good.
Okay.
You're on.
You're good. Go ahead. Yeah, go.
Okay. I'm Jerry B. Peters, a member of the National Campaign Media Team.
Okay.
And the National Vice Chair for Political Affairs of the Professionals United to Promote the Proper Agenda, PUPA for short.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And your mom, brother, what's your name? And
Okay.
let's hear you.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be here this evening.
You holding your microphone? Are you talking in the mic?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking.
Can you get closer a little bit?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Happy to be here. I'm Zoetele Efficients, members of the National Press and Propaganda Team, the National Coalition for Democratic Change.
Thank
and
you.
Also, I am the National Vice Chair for Political Inter-Party Affairs from the Liberia People Democratic Party, under the conglomeration Tripartite Coalition for Democratic Change.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen, and officially welcome to the platform Open Conversation. I will now lower my height, and my host will take control.
Did you say the Liberia People Democratic Party?
LPDP.
Okay. Oh, you're from LPDP. Okay, good. So welcome again to Open Conversation. And I didn't hear your, what do you do, Tamajoni? I know you're Tamajoni of Liberia. You used to be a journalist, you're a political commentator now.
Are you still a journalist?
He said he's a political commentator now, right?
Sure.
Okay. So how is the CDC campaign going?
Pretty well. There's being a member of the National Campaign Media Teams of the Market Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC. We are here to actually logically bring some of the facts to the table as it relates to the workings of the government of President George Weah. And then we are going to actually take away the myth and move ahead with the happening, the realities on the ground as it relates to the regime of President George Weah. Many years, he was been seen as a person who cannot uplift Liberia, but his regime have surpassed many logical minds and intellectuals in our society. Like his contribution towards his mother country are now becoming significant, or in other words, important to the larger society. So I'm here not to go for petty propaganda, but to bring to the table the achievement of the government of President George Weah and what is happening in the lives of the people today.
What are those achievements?
Thank you. When you look on the other side, we have been in the corridors of the body politics of Liberia from the period government that many consider to be the most civilized and logical government of the former ruling Unity Party of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The aspects of electricity was actually bit dormant under the regime of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. If you look at the tariff at the time, under Madam Sirleaf regime, around the tariffs of the electricity at the time was 38% under that regime. Now, under the regimes of President George Weah, we observe 18% of that. So there are much more expansions in the areas of electricity, and we are experiencing a stable standards of electricity and the expansion of the electricity in other counties. That's one of the aspects of the achievement of the government of President George Weah. There are many developments that we will actually, as the conversation continues, will lay our hand on to inform you about what President George Weah is doing.
Okay, let me hold you there and come to you. Mr. Tilly, is it okay? Okay, efficiency.
Yeah, efficiency.
Okay. Because you are from you are one of the collaborating parties.
Oh, yeah?
Tamajoni of Liberia, a political commentator, may have his own reasons, but what encouraged your party to join the CDC, to collaborate with the CDC?
Thank you. Take into consideration the connections of the political standard bearer that we have among the tripartite coalition for democratic change. In fact, even before coming together in 2016, forming the coalitions, we believe and we were impressed based on the manifestos. The manifesto is the dream to deliver the nations. And our common patrimony we have is Liberia. And to liberate the country from the hand of the others. So, looking at the manifesto from the Congress for Democratic Change in our own, we found the essentiality of moving together, being one political party to liberate this nation.
Good. The LPDP joined, the CDC before the elections, right? And you became a part of the collaboration. But after the president's first 6 years, okay, because he's completing his 6 years, not all of the members of the LPDP are still, with the ruling coalition for democratic change. So is it a faction of your...
We reaffirmed the agreement. The document between us was reaffirmed this gone February.
Why do you think some people left, the likes of Alex Tyler? Why did they leave?
Actually, understanding the fact of parties are institutions.
Okay.
And we have the humans that is within the party, they are organizations that have their own plan. They have dominion over their decisions.
Okay.
So the parties stay. Individual can leave and the party stay. But I believe that he is best known to himself. But purposely, we all seated here, we are under the umbrella of the Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change and here to speak to issues on tangible reasons why should our government be re-elected to power.
The LPDP, where is the base? I know you joined the coalition, but where is your base? How are you mobilizing people, more people, to join this CDC revolution?
We did that. In fact, the first thing to your questions, the base. We have the Western Belt composed of 3 counties in the Western Belt: Bomi, Cape Mount, and Bapolu. And you have Grand Julia, the River G. We have 4 counties under the control of the Liberia People Democratic Party. And based on that number we have, though people refer to these counties as insignificant when it comes to number, political number, but no matter, whatever numbers you have is significance in politics. So we use our number that we have to join the coalitions 2016.
Do you still have, or do you think you're adding more people to the coalition as a result of what your party brings to the table?
Oh yes. In fact, in terms of numerical strength, the numbers of LPDP are increased massively than ever before.
Why do you think so?
Because of the work that we have. Even you speaking to my political leader, the former political leader, Honorable Alex Janikatara, he brought numbers of people even before the departures around April.
He might be taking them with him.
Oh no. He said it clear. Before suspending his membership with the party, he said that.
What did he say?
He's going alone.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And you believe that?
And I believe that.
Okay, let's come to you, Mr. Peters. I see you, a young man. I want to know what you guys are doing, because you are members of the campaign team, right? How are you mobilizing younger people to stay with this party to make sure that come October 10, President Weah is elected on the first ballot? I hear you guys talk about every time.
Well, thank you. The first thing is that there is no secret when it comes to whose side the first-time voter is leaning on. We have been successful to mobilize first-time voter across the country. Not just that, but build cells in public and private university across the country. Our engagement.
You have cells in public and private universities across the country?
What I mean, we have cells. We are working with different authorities of the CDC.
In all of the public and private universities?
Of course.
Okay.
We have the public university for the re-election of President George Weah. And we have the private university association for the re-election of President George Weah. That 2 authorities, they are very significant when it comes to numbers. You are aware. And so, not just that, but we continue to engage young people through different programs. And President Weah, the construction of sport parks has also attracted young people, significant numbers, towards the re-election of President Weah. So the projects, the strategy, the mentor to bring young people on board, they are enormous. And I can tell you this, Titi, that President Weah re-election on the first ballot is hugely depends on the young people. And this is where every country President Weah have ever gone to during this campaign period, the young people have always been in attendance in numbers. The first-time voters have been recognized on every program, and you can see the zest.
Okay,
the happiness.
I want to ask
for participation, for
you
inclusion.
Guys, all of you. This gone Sunday, on the 7th of this month, you launched your campaign, and thousands of people turned out. But the Unity Party, that is seen as, the main opposition in the country now, also launched her campaign this gone Sunday. Did that send any, shock to any of you or to the CDC?
Let me quickly come in before my colleague here. For what Unity Party did is they did that out of consternation.
What is that?
What is that?
You got it?
No.
They did that. They did that out of confused. In fact, they are confused in the manner because seeing the numbers, the 90 Coalition for Democratic Change put out, and looking at the standard bearer with nothing bringing to the table, serving in the government for that long period of time, and even looking at him also with no zest in him to liberate this country. Okay, so they do that to buffoon himself. They did it out of fear.
You say that you saw hundreds of people out there. How did
that number you have? It's not number that is to compete with the number that we put out. We debate that to in the very archaic sectors, forums and things, and we bring we display evidence as to the number turnout on the 7 and that of the afternoon. Now, looking at we don't have to take the issue of ATS to consideration to say ATS is the only area where the capacity on ATS is about 13,000.
That only tells you also, or does that not tell you that the Unity Party is also working?
But you put a number that is insignificant to my number. What convinced me that that is not even matched? It's not matching to my number. What would serve as caveat to mean that you are doing something better that will even that will hinder me?
So you expected them to have a far better number than the number.
I expected them because the Unity Party was once a ruling institution, ruling establishment before in 2017.
Okay.
So I believe they should have still maintained their base. If they have the zest to take over the country, they could maintain their base. But now if you see their number deplete. Okay. So looking at that number, that is not even matched to the number we pull out. I don't see that to serve.
Give him time. You were lending, right?
He lended already.
You lended already?
Yeah, that might come.
Okay, no problem.
Let me move to the logical argument here. Monserrado is the electoral college of the Republic of Liberia. Each and every political institution jumbo here. And the CDC still maintain the base of the young people here. What happened on the 17th, the fateful Sunday, the launch of the Unity Party? We were actually observing time, even a time where people leave from their various services. From 9 o'clock a.m., 10 o'clock a.m., 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, up to 1:15. The videos are here, the evidential facts are here with us. The few empty. We can also disclose to you a number of videos that people were seen coming from Grand Boxer, making their way to Monserrado.
And Robe.
That was not strange. Because they tried to prove something. But today, from our assessment, our political assessment, if you look in the corridor of the 17th electoral district, CDC is fully in charge. They are in control of presidential place. Many would like to pretend to you. We have covered 7 counties with the president and 11 testaments of each and every area he is traveling in this country. And what he is actually putting forth, the arguments, are today resonating in the minds of many Liberians. He is a simple speaker. And one of the greatest things that we notice and recognize with the president is a man that loves to do things instantly.
What does that mean?
instantly, like he moved to an area, and let me set an example in Grand Kitman County. Okay. When we visited Grand Kitman County, there was an area called Bambala, district number 1 in Grand Kitman County. The people over the year from 1847, their testimony that they have been in darkness in that area. He mandated his workforce to bring 1,000 solar light. And he also observed the bad road conditions. Seeming nothing happened in Kinjor, where the Turkish guys are operating. He also did a opening of a school. We went to Bapolo. There's an area called Bama. There was another instant results in the lives of the people. Many of them will always say that this is our first time to see you. You are a blessing and a gift to this country. The many political pundits will say that he is Liberia's miracle child.
Oh, you refer to the president as Liberia's miracle child.
Now, in most directions, we went to Bomi, Magibi, Simunatin. A gift of a mountain was given to him. And he loved to do strange things.
Okay.
So we continue to argue that this election will go on the first round.
Okay.
Basis.
CDC will win on the first ballot. Let's hear you because I have another question before Washington comes in. I have another question for you guys. But let's hear you on my previous question. Do you want to say something to that? The turnout of Unity Party versus CDC.
Well, this is something that, for me, I do not like to waste my time on because we are talking about a party that spent 12 years in power. And this particular party has always mentioned numbers that the forgotten Senator DeLong, won on the father with a very wide margin. So on that basis, they are always compare senatorial election to that of presidential elections. And if you look at the turnout on the 17th of September, it is so pitiful to know that Unity Party were forcing the partisans to come under that heavy downpour of rain just because they wanted to show something to the world. And at the end of the day, they could not put a number. The streets were empty. After they left the stadium, they did traffic jam with a vehicle, and they marched from the stadium with a vehicle into the street just to prove that the street was jammed up.
Okay, that brings me to my next question, because Unity Party partisans believe that, they put up a show, and a very good show in their minds, and they were all over the place, all over social media and talking about that. You believe they didn't put up a good show. Did you listen to Senator Prince Johnson yesterday? He had a press conference. You are all young people. Senator Johnson is saying that, he believes that, they have the numbers, and as a result, they're going to win these elections. In any other result, to the contrary, they will revert to what none of us want. What are you guys thinking? What is the CDC thinking?
For me, I call that fear conference. Out of fear, Senator Prince Johnson is making reckless statements all around the place.
What is he afraid of? This is a former warlord.
He's afraid that he will soon be a former senator in the first place. I don't want to deal with the issue when it comes to president. We are pulling vote in Lima. Because we pull significant votes in Lima. President, we pull significant vote. Senator Johnson has lost script in Lima.
You think so?
I was candidate, CDC candidate, will win Senator Johnson in Nima and making a former senator.
Because you're relying.
My rely is that the people are tripping away the citizen. The people are now ungrateful. Senator Johnson is being engaged every day by the people of Nima. What is the basis of you telling us to forget about voting for President Weah and leading the way to new the party headed by our retired uncle? Retired on the 17th. I retired in March.
So you refer to the 17th March as a retirement march, right?
Very good. The people are saying there are tremendous development across Nima initiated by President Weah. And some of the projects are completed and some are ongoing. So why are we voting against President Weah? That is the question that Senator Johnson can answer.
So you think that's scare tactics. But then let me ask you, Tamajoni, what, because Senator Johnson is not, an ordinary person. He's a senator of Nimba County. And people follow him, whether you like it or not. That kind of statement coming from him, what do you think it could result into if care is not taken?
Thank you, Titi. We, the people of Liberia, enjoy 20 years of peace. For you to have a single senator, a chaotic senator, who comes to the public medium and try to threaten the state. He is one of the joker, a political joker.
You refer to him as a joker?
Yes.
This is a man who has been senator for 18 years now.
These are scare tactics. He lost the political ground in Nimba because what he wanted from the government to have gone to the development of Nimba. And very shortly, the Nimbalian will get the actual facts about the life of Senator Prince Johnson.
What are the facts that they don't already know? Are they hidden facts?
Follow the campaign. And I strongly believe that you follow the drama. After the return of the president from the United States of America, we'll make our way to Nimba. That will actually bring an end, and the secret of Senator Prince Johnson will come out.
I don't understand.
Upon the return of the president from the United States of America, and we'll be making our way to Nimba County, you'll get the actual story. And whether Senator Prince Johnson will be a senator, you will get to know.
So you believe that the tenure of Senator Johnson has come to an end?
We have number of days. The Nimbalians have been provoked.
How?
They understand that he have misled them over the year. What could have been in the interest of the county? He wanted it for his own self-interest. In few days, we will tell you the happening.
Senator Johnson might revert to the bush.
He don't have that strength. The tactic is an old man. He claimed to be a man of God.
Is he not?
Man of God, people of God do not move into the aspects of being chaotic to launch rebellion and speaking out. The people that want to go back to the dark days. People of God will always preach peace. And I strongly believe that Senator Johnson, logically, politically, is wiping away.
Senator Johnson is logically being wiped away, politically being wiped away. Let's hear, the latest, let's hear something Senator Johnson had to say to the people of Liberia. And maybe when we hear that, then we can come to you to hear what you have.
The remark, too temperamental, too aggressive, negatively aggressive. Is that the kind of person you want to be under Mr. Boycott? When you become vice president, will you not kick Mr. Boycott to become president tomorrow? Let me just tell you something. Jeremiah Cohen, too temperamental, too aggressive, negatively aggressive. Is that the kind of person you want to be under Mr. Boycott when you become vice president? Will you not kick Mr. Boycott to become president tomorrow? When you become vice president, will you not kick Mr. Boycott to become president tomorrow?
Okay, let's clip from.
I want you to be careful. We are fighting for Nima Kante to take the lead, and Nima will win in the name of Jesus. Basa with us, Bapolu with us, Bombing with us, Lofa with us, Bon Kante with us. What is your problem? Then you on the radio on me. Hey, my brother, what I do?
All right.
You gotta change because you alone, your voice cannot cover the whole berege. We're fighting for you. Equals our mama. Nimba will win. Abio bato the pa. Abo make a pebe a kokarozi. Kwaze ido ubong, and we did it. We are fighting for you. We're begging you people. If you make the man disgrace, or it will be good for you. When you turn to the man against our prayer for you to produce vice president, the old man is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. The old man is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No. Then I could be doing the job for you. Can he go everywhere? No.
Well, you listen to Senator Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was denigrating even Kun before few months ago, heard in that leaked audio where he was begging another official of government in Nimba County to come, to go against the government and make sure that he's not made shame. But more to that, he also is saying that, if the Unity Party wins elections, Senator Kun is the actual man who is going to do the job, and it's going to be good for him because he's the one who's pushing the Kun he believes is very aggressive. But Senator Johnson is again heard, in an interview just yesterday, threatening the peace of the country. That if he doesn't win, if the Unity Party doesn't win the elections, we'll revert to the dark days.
Thank you.
Yes,
I want to hear from
thank you. Let me at this time reduce my height to respond to the audio that I just listened to. I said this from the beginning, and my convener has spoken to that. You see, Johnson, Senator Johnson, I told you that he constrains nations. He's speaking out of fear and worry. And in Liberia, in the current history, the political history right now in the Republic of Liberia, we have one person to be the conscience of these nations. Okay? Now, if you're looking at this character that we have, the people choice that you have to be the expert, or you come to Johnson in politics, who had the state, and Prince Johnson looking at he approaching his retirement, and in fact, look at the statement, and let's drag back to our constitution. What's the possibility of even if they shall win the election? That's a condition, it's a clause that he used. According to that war, if we win the elections. Where in the world that the president will be seated and vice president steer the affairs of the state? Now, absolutely tells that he's afraid. He's afraid. He's shocked. On the election tour, the president for the Republic of Liberia, the people February, the numbers of people that he put in, going down the villages, entering every district in the county, leaving district untouchable, speaking to the common people, providing needs. to people in fact immediately. Look how you got the tower right on the road over decades of years since 1847 to 2017. They don't have light. Right in Bond County, in recent time, before the president could travel, he offered them the street light and entered Nima County. The road leading from Nima Ganto to Sanikoli. How many years? 12 years the government stayed in power. They didn't rehabilitate the road. And go and look at the road today. You had a small movement from Ganto to Sanikoli. That happened to be the capital for Nima County. Look at the road leading from Nima, getting to Tapeta. Brian Johnson was once a man yesterday that supported, that referred to this man, this president, this people's choice. When the other man on the other side referred to this man, a little boy, he said this little boy is doing better than him. So when Brian Johnson coming up with this statement is not concrete. This statement are statement of frustrations. These statements are statement of words unto he his very self.
Okay, let's hear from you, Peters.
Yeah, the first thing we should recognize is that Senator Johnson talks about another senator, that is Senator Lawrence, in one of these audios. He talks about Senator Johnson, Senator Kuhn, and then we heard him talking about the mayor. Now, it's the deception. Senator Kuhn is corrupt. He's co-chair to Ombofala. They are all in his role, doing unorthodox thing in the Senate, in the House of Representatives then. And then he talks about Nyomri being temperamental. She can be the VSB to Ambassador Bwaka only because he was pushing his own self-interest. Now, when Senator Kuhn was successfully picked by Ambassador Bwaka, then Senator Kuhn became the guiding board. Then Nyomri became the rescue mother to him. That is deception. Now, he's also talking about somebody being the stopping block or hindering the progress in the County. Immediately, when he is successful bringing over, and that is not going to work, by the way, God forbid, that man will be another darling boy to him in the County. Everything about Senator Kuhn since he became senator in 2005.
Senator Johnson?
Senator Johnson became senator in 2005. Has always been about himself, not about the people of Nima. Let's look at Senator Kuhn over 18 years of being in the Senate, right?
You mean Senator Johnson?
Senator Johnson, sorry. No. The only notable project, and that is his personal project, is the building of a technical college. Everything about Senator Johnson has been about himself, self-interest, and forgotten about the people of Nima County. And this is why we have decided to put that to end. This regime is about the people. We came to power to lift the people out of poverty, to transform the infrastructure of the country, policy reform. These are things that personally we are continuing to do. So you cannot tell me that one man who is just a senator will dictate to central government as to how money should be spent or how another country should be looked at. Only because he wants a significant chunk of what so to be spent in a particular country.
So let's rationalize.
But here's the issue. The people of Nima, like I said, They continue to remain grateful to President Weah. They continue to tell Senator Johnson that President Weah has been there for us. You brought President Weah to us during the county tour. You told us that we should stick with President Weah because of the development agenda. It is better to be with the devil than the angel you have not seen. That was President Senator Johnson's exact statement he made when President Weah visited Nima during his county tour. And now, at the 11th hour, he's telling the people of Nima to go against this populist president. He must be joking.
So we were thinking about rationalizing the conversation, to the point where we are taking Unity Party into serious consideration, because it has been manifested that Unity Party is the biggest contender when it comes to the October 10 elections with the CDC, the ruling government.
Oh yeah.
Now, Tama Johnny, you said something, and I wanted to bring you back to what you say. Are you not taking into consideration the fact that Unity Party had brought out the number of people, at least that was expected to have convincingly tell someone who was sitting down in the corners that Unity Party, even though it may not seem to be like they've won the elections, but there seems to be a competition. Don't you see that? Don't you preempt a competition in these elections and you just be staggered about winning on a first ballot with the pulling out of people on September 17?
I am not being moved by those broke supporters of that party.
They don't have to be rich.
They control this country for 12 years. You are not a stranger, Mr. Presenter, to the body politics of this country. They have been provoked. The number of those broke supporters of the Unity Party you saw in the street, they have been provoked with the level of achievement and development that President Weah have carried on in this country. We are not being pandemic with that. There are 20 presidential candidates, and each and every one of these presidential candidates, they have their people. I am telling you that President Weah remain the biggest and celebrated political characters in this country. Even after his 12 years, 2029, President Weah will determine who to hand this country over to. I am not discussing the 2023 election because these elections are all.
And what are the predicting factors that predicts the election being over? Because the opposition is coming.
You're asking the question.
The opposition is coming.
You ask and you give all the time.
Yeah, we are interacting. We're interfacing.
To move into the argument, we want our people to understand what we are saying here.
Let's go there.
Now,
put out the factors.
The factors is the aspect of what is currently happening in Liberia.
Tell the Liberian people.
The development, the current realities on the ground.
Break the developments down.
Now, you, Mr. Presenters and others, maybe you are an African journalist.
I am.
In Africa, I'm coming now. In Africa, we have a standard family. For President George Weah to break the storms that you have many educated political leaders of this country from 1847.
Simplify the
that they have been talking about the ideas of educations.
Okay.
For President Weah to move into the direction and actually convincing some of the legislators to enact the policies of free educations.
Has it been enacted?
You are a living testament. The process is on. President, we have done many important things. One of it is the draconian drugs law that suffered largest under the regime of Madam Salif. And someone will come here in this country and move into the corridor that the people of Liberia will reject their own son that's liberating them.
You spoke about the education. You spoke about the drugs. I want you to simplify all of the many developments. There are a lot of people listening to you around the world. There are a lot of people listening to you in Liberia. So tell the Liberian people, why is it that the resounding one-round victory is so important?
Thank you. They are going to vote for President William on the basis of the stable electricity. They are going to vote for President William on the basis of women empowerment. They are going to vote President William of his government removing government institution from private building to his own. The people of Liberia will vote President George Weah on the basis of the raw connectivities in the country. They are going to vote for him for elevating the salaries of her workers.
But there are concerns, you understand. I want you to simplify. Let me hear you right there. I want you to simplify. The opposition have got this mentality about, you talk about augmenting the salaries of health workers and other things. The opposition criticized
from 700 to 2,000.
I'm coming. The opposition criticized.
They are living testimony.
That's what I'm coming now. The opposition have,
many of them work with us.
Come on, you want to give me a chance. The opposition has this strong criticism that President Weah has not been able to do much more when it comes to salary. What can you say, and how can you convince the people listening that President Weah has been able to work in the capacity when it comes to salary disbursement?
If you have people, intellectuals and political pundits, and anyone that will move into that direction, and say within the 5 years to 6 years, the president will have done nothing in this country, automatically,
in the perspective of salary,
you are ungrateful to your motherland.
Let's talk it there.
You are not truthful to your own people. Because the facts are written on the wall. The controversial number country you're talking about, the footprint of this government is in Nimba. They cannot negate the facts.
I'm talking about salary, sir. How can you dispel the rumor about the issue of the salary? The opposition are running with this thing about the President harmonized the salary and all of that. Do you think the harmonization was a creation of job opportunity and earnings for another Liberian, or what do you? How can you explain that to the Liberian people?
The harmonizations of salary.
Yes.
Logical, brother, it was actually necessary.
That's what the Liberian people need to hear.
Necessary.
Go ahead.
Because you have many people who were actually working in government, moved with more than 10 ID cards. Their names have been on payroll to serious error.
That's good.
The government of President George Weah came to power and launched an investigations.
Okay.
And it was actually authenticated that individuals in this country were receiving dual salary. With the technicians of this government, they got to remove many of them, their names, their national identification card to identify people. And you have many individuals now with the harmonization. Many of our people, they are today working in government, they are receiving salary.
The opposition is still running out with this, right? So they say the person working to the Ministry of Finance, the person that controller, the person to the other place, the person that director, the other person to the director, and the person making more than that. So I think like you're saying, right? The government has been able to, mitigate, right? In your own words,
right?
They've been able to mitigate that. This man is a director here, and this other person is a director here. I think there should be some mutual salary similarity. That, like what you're saying, right? So a lot of people in the past regime, 15,000, 10,000, one person, the same person doing the same job on the other side, you're making 300, 400, 500.
We have serious advocates and serious payroll.
Taking different salaries.
Honor the chaotic regime of management.
This is the transformation that you're talking about, right? This is the transformation. So I think your people have understood, right, when it comes to the basis of salary harmonization. Is there anything before I go to the next brother?
Change is on the way.
Okay.
The blue revolutions actually move in the direction to seek the interests of this country. Only those who are blindly seeing things from other direction. But I can tell you, President Weah is the most sincere political leaders of the country. Before I go to my colleague, let me go back to Nima. There's a point, and my colleagues were actually making some point with the recordings of Senator Prince Johnson. The people of Lofa County, they are not naive. I am a son of Lofa. I listened to the recording. And I'm telling you that the people of Lofa County, they are not naive. We are logically following the political drama and the utterances from Senator Prince Johnson. And that is the angle where the defeat of the Unity Party is coming from.
What do you think the people of Lofa are thinking in that direction?
That you think that you can use one of their weakling and old son.
One of their weaklings?
This is old and weak now. That you can use that space to come to power. And that is not true.
You're from Lofa, but you're supporting President Weah. And are you doing it because you believe that the former vice president is old and weak and he cannot lead? Is that the reason why you're supporting President Weah?
You have been knowing, I've been knowing for a very long time, and you know me. I stand for the realities of life.
But you're from Lofa. The people from Lofa, they will always go for their uncle.
No. We look at the interest of the country and what is currently happening in our county. We are now ungrateful people.
What is happening in your county now?
There are transformations.
What kind of transformation?
Many developments. Empowerments of women. We have one of the big radio stations, some of the brothers and sons from Lofa. They are carrying logical transformation to that direction. And we actually follow President Weah on the basis of these issues of the Medicoma rule. He did the groundbreaking. And we visited Bond County. From Bond County to Zota, that entire area is quota moved into Lofa County. We cannot be ungrateful.
As far as Sarai.
We cannot be ungrateful to the sons and daughters of Lofa. We will not be ungrateful to people that bring things to them. It's not individual that attempt to compromising the natural resources of Lofa County, attempting to sell the Wulungisi.
Who?
One of our own.
Who is that person?
Joseph Bakai.
Do you have an improvement?
He have one of the political commentators admitted to that. Henry Costa.
Do you believe Costa?
He have been into business with him. He have done business with the former vice president. And they have some conversation. So we got to logically look at what he is saying.
So you think the people of Lofa are disappointed that Senator Johnson has a hidden agenda? Any of you could answer that question. It doesn't have to be Tamajoni.
Indeed. The secret has been unveiled. Let him rest. The secret has been unveiled that Senator Johnson wants to use Ambassador Bouaka to come to power. You heard it right in the recording. That this is Nima time.
In fact, it is a sign of intimidation.
Nima is putting the other country. Lofa is with them. Bon County is with them. Margibi is with them. Bassa with them. Why not? It is Liberia's time. That Nima will have to pull the vote to give us what we want in the interest of Liberia. But why it is Nima time? That is about Nima County and he and his colleagues.
And you think the people of Lofa
to come to power?
About that,
the people of Lofa have understood the tricks of Senator Johnson. to use their uncle, the former vice president, to come to power.
Does it have anything to do with what happened in Lofa today? I saw Thomas Fala in Lofa County.
And the people of Lofa are saying, if you look in the government of President Weah, we have significant numbers of our own sons and daughters that have been appointed to strategic positions. If we naming people from Lofa that are in strategic, we don't live here today. Controller General, Assistant Minister, Deputy Minister, Minister Proper Director. The numbers are enormous. And so, if you look at Foya, that place has always been the control center of
Ambassador Bwaka. The huge gathering was today?
Since the funding of that place. And it's on this regime that the people of Foya are experiencing paved road, community roads, a modern town hall, electrifying the streets. And so the people of Lofa
will remain with the devil they know, right?
We gave President Weah a resounding first round victory. That numbers that Ambassador Bwaka got 2017, he can't get even half of that number anymore.
Okay, you want to say something, Ephesians, before we go to the lines?
Yeah, let me speak to something. I think you asked a question concerning the statement Ambassador Bwaka and let me see, Prince Johnson and that of whether the citizens of Lofa County they are certified or they are against that statement. The question is yes, the citizen of Lofa. That statement from the Prince Johnson, Senator Johnson, is on the money. And it has the propensity, and in fact, the symptoms are there. That statement is threatening. It's a peer assassinating the man. Even he, Bwaka, if you ask him, he regret the time and minute. Why he choosing Jeremiah Kuhn to be his running mate? He regretted that decision because you cannot have somebody that you think you confide in, bring them closer to you, and you've been backstabbed. And with that Lofa County, Bwaka getting a vote from there. In fact, in my mind and analysis that I have from Lofa over the past days, months, and years, is glaring that Bwaka will be defeated in Lofa County.
Okay, we'll see what October 10 is going to bring. Bwaka is going to be defeated in Lofa County. Let's go to the lines now and hear what those who are listening to us have to say concerning our conversation tonight.
Okay, so let's do it like this. 08805140096 are the numbers. We have three young gentlemen in studio to talk about the developments of the government grieving.
Yeah, I was just we just said to be able to guest.
Go ahead.
You first on that. I said to you, I heard you saying that you follow far when you enter the fire that they on that trip. But same also I was saying to the campaign because I did it for the mother. I don't say that you might not have 10 council, local council. Because we are going to get back to it was like very much better. But the 2017 result, it will never be the same because the better of the fire in what they have done within the back country.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Sister. How are you doing?
Good.
This is James from Mr. Fool.
Go ahead, James.
You know, guys, how are you doing?
We're doing great. So.
We're doing great, man.
I'm disappointed in the young guys in the studio there. What I'm simply trying to say, if you look around, with the real source here around in the town, the economic stability in the country now is going out of hand. Where market women, the woman win the market, no buy nothing.
So how people can eat now? Nobody buy.
Hello?
How do you eat when you can buy?
But I eat, and when I buy, I eat.
You said no buy.
Discussing the economic stability, everything is starting. That's why I'm discussing personal life. We're discussing
but you live in
radio.
Liberia. But why do you remind anybody of national radio? So it's national radio. That's why you are calling. So that's not the topic, and that's not the issue. Let's go to the issue. You said the market is static. Nobody is buying. I'm asking you, how do you eat? What is your explanation of economic stability? What is your, determination or meaning?
You can take source, you can move around, hear from people. I believe you can do that.
Answer my question. So what do you mean when you say economic stability? What do you
Things are not moving. People open store not buying. Things are not moving. That's what I'm saying. But the West is still as presidential level. I don't know when last year, but one is just to come in the country, nothing.
What do you do for living? Hello. What do you do for living? What do you do for living?
I drink business.
You see how you contradicting yourself. So nobody buys from you, eh? Nobody can buy from you.
We're discussing the nation.
Oh, you're not part of the nation? Mommy, I thank you, bro.
Good evening.
Hello?
Evening. Thomas.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah. Then the tower calling was so good. I don't want to say the room to my brother in the studio. They are carrying off. So, no need for me to talk. So, therefore, the kind of thing was someone of this friend or something of them.
Okay.
Good evening.
Yeah, Washington, and good evening to you and Sister B. Let me say good evening to my friend and brother, Tama Johnny of Liberia. This is E. Armstrong Bapu, chairman for We Are One Round Victory. Okay. And I'll call from Pinkley this evening. Let me say many thanks to our brothers in studio this evening. Washington, let us go back to the book or Team for a Path. You know, Okunku wanted to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that he is a strong man. So what he did, he made a person he made, it was time for that person to be killed. His friend came to him and said, "Oh, Okunku, I don't think you too ungrateful to kill the boy. He couldn't call you a father." But Okunku decided, he said, "No, I will prove that I am strong. I will kill this boy." That's a similar thing Senator Johnson want to do. And but then guess what? After Okunku went to where they started this boy and he partake, what happened to him? It was the time Okunku saw his downfall. Senator Johnson jumped George Weah and supported George Weah and made George Weah, help George Weah, and George Weah became president. George Weah was now ungrateful to him, decided to give back to him in the country. But he wanted move over the country. Today, he is about to see his downfall. Okay. I can assure you in Nima, it will be hard for the senator. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hello. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay. Is it ELBC?
Yep, ELBC.
Okay. What I want to say here that the party is saying that the country is full, but they are selling things to people. As you know, if somewhere people don't have money, then why you must sell to them to do Dara rally? These are someone saying. Now the inborn minds here calling for people to go and have Dara rally. Why are you looking for money from the poor people? But you know that the country you say no job, nothing is there. You're getting money from the people selling t-shirts to them. I don't know, it's very confusing.
So what? But the money they made in America, did they do any fair disclosure? They went for a rally in America. How much they made?
They inform me and say we want to go for Dara rally. Where do you get it from?
So so you're going for the Dara rally?
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Hello.
Hello.
Take it, find it back.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
You sleeping?
Go ahead, sir. Hello.
Mary.
Go ahead, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. Is it ELBC?
Yep, ELBC.
That's here calling from Red Light.
Go ahead.
With Senator Johnson issue, already where it's headed to. So that one part is nothing to discuss. On the line of the Unity Party issues, the only one that I want to talk about is the country, Liberian as a whole. From the day we were born, president come, president go, president comes, president go. We don't see the kind of a massive development going on in the country. So what really, my question is, what really Liberians want to see before they believe that yes, indeed, there's a good thing that is coming for the country? Each time they see somebody developing the country, they will go against the person. So they are telling me all of what the man is doing.
Hello? Okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Abu Fofana, a political son of Lubbock County.
Okay.
Let me start by saying a very big thanks and appreciation to my dear brother Tema Johnny of Liberia, Titi, and you within studio. All I would like to say to you is not to waste your very good energy. Preserve your energy. We are simply trying to tell you that there is certain thing they call FEMA that the Lufians have gone into for what they refer to as Joseph Numa Boaga. If you look around you over there, I had a call on your show. There are kids, you are only two, which I'm trying to say, like your husband and your wife. Your children are in numbers. The fact that they go into certain agreement or an oath to protect Joe Boaga and they are old today, they cannot control the youth, and the youth are in majority for Thomas Parada is vigorously working in the interest of President George Manneh. We are in Lofa County. They don't have control over the youth right now, and even in Nima County. So they are finding it very difficult with previously and Joe Boaga, finding it very difficult with Lofa and Nima. Because the youth have seen modernity, the fact that Thomas Parada can take the young people to Ghana and see and take them to the country with this political tradition that they speak of, and you are seeing development. The same tradition that you are speaking of is not taking effect within local country. So the Lufians have resolved now to tell you that they will vote equally for President George Manneh here.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir. Hello?
What do I have in English?
08805140096. Good evening. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you come from?
Yeah, I'm from Quebec.
Okay.
Yeah, let me commend you for the topic on the discussion. But I want to raise two issues that people maybe you are not aware. Every time you hear people hear that we are that this, we are this. But quite recently, when you want to want to for me, he had 10 acres of land that could go for point what is. He did the general what the toilet that he was another more in Buffalo. So what are solutions and if you put up on the media now raising the issue because every night they say Joe, you score, you do day, you steal money. How then do that work must get that money to buy that land? And they are all that are saying
how many acres of land does Ambassador Boaga have? You say?
In for me, they say 10 acres of land, and that's why you what we saying we will run the campaign there.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I want facts. I don't want they say. I want facts. That's what I'm asking you.
I'm giving you facts. You can go on it. You can go on a page when they visited for me. You heard that Buddha resign before coming back to go to Nigeria. There is no personal house.
Who else is supposed to resign? Whose house do I expect him to reside in?
What I'm trying to say now is that they say, so we are taking the money and being house for himself. But then how come at this point I got to know that to say okay, get first thing for me? Then you get a lot more area in Bapuru. Then you get some to rehab. You get some in Wojima Foya. So how they need money to get housing
for ya?
Yeah, you get housing for ya.
Okay.
So and another issue that is that doing it.
The one you want song, people speak. Because the one I saw in one song, it was falling apart though. So I don't know which one he's talking about. The one I saw in one song. Hello.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
Good.
Good. Is it 9.9?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is Patrick Nixon. I'm calling from Jeffersonville.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah. Okay. The issue is clear. Joseph Walker had 12 years. Make his report to Liberian people that they squandered their opportunities. Apart from that, when Manasili was leaving power, on the Unity Party, it was clear that they failed at reconciling the Liberian people. They failed at fighting corruption. And they failed at so many things that you mentioned that cannot be right now because of time. Having said that, you have a George Weah, under whose administration that the coronavirus engulfed. And with all of the challenges, with all of what's happening across the world, we are continuing to build rules across almost every sector of the Liberian society. They bring down the executive marshal. The Unity Party bring down the executive marshal. For 12 years, they were allotting funds for the rebuilding of the executive marshal. And yet, they could not place a single zinc on the executive marshal. George Weah came to power with all the challenges. And within less than 2-3 years, he refurbished the executive marshal. The executive marshal that was burned down by Joseph Walker and his legs is the same executive marshal that they trying to fight hard to return to. They burned it down, they could not run a VA, they could not fix it. We have fixed it.
Thank you.
Go back to rebuild it.
Thank you. Good evening.
Really?
Good evening. We'll take two more and then we'll come back to our guests.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, I'm calling from Rocking Town.
Let's hear you.
Yo, today I listen to a lot of call out the Unity Party and saying that no place. When you're playing war, how the people will spend money. The people have their friend now. So the people going under their money. Nobody wants you. And so everybody going under their money. You need to register the children going under their money now because they think join your playing protest and Ryan make it stay away. That they think join your playing now. So I don't know what Mr. Senator Johnson they put me for the Unity Party now. So he's speaking on war thing. I say war. So I think he see a defeat ahead of time.
All right. Let's talk to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, and good evening to the studio family. I'm Thomas Andola, a typical bandit man from local county. But currently, I'm based in Monrovia to be staffed in Banjo Community District number 17. You know, Titi, let me say this. God will hold us responsible when we are ever ungrateful to this president, especially the people from this Banjo side. In 12 years of Marasali administration and the Buaka administration, we suffered in this place. We were not existing. We were never living. But for the help of President Weah from the day he came into power, today we can boast of electricity. I go on anything I want to come home. I don't have to light fire. I use my stove. Today we have a paved road.
I know that road, that Banjo road. Jesus
that
is
Banjo
Lord.
road, my dear. That road was
Tell
Peter
me about
Bagaki
it.
passed on the road. He is Darrell DeLong. That road was bad. We used to take 30 to 45 minutes to get to Iron Gate. Today I can take less than 30 minutes to get there. I mean, we are very grateful to this person. If we ever pay him wrong, God will see us, and I know that we'll not pay him wrong. Thank you so very much, Titi.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show, and you really, really hit the nail on the head because I know exactly what you're talking about. But we're not taking calls anymore. We're coming back to our guest in studio to tell us your parting comments. So let's start from you, Ephesians, and then we go. You listen to the callers.
Are there any reservations? Oh, let's put the microphones on.
Thank you. I listened to my brothers and sisters out the call, the place they call the column. And much more because I think I would have had more oppositions, at least coming up with a point so that I can respond to them. But however, with that gentleman who spoke concerning the economic not permitting us and the country is still stagnated because the economy is not growing. I really don't know whether he is existing or he living, because the economy he talks about today is not about Liberia, it's globally. You have 12 years early regime, you never have international crisis as such that this government is facing. When you have from 2013 to 2015, when you have the Ebola, the country was stagnated from development, everything was stopped in the name of fighting the pandemic disease. And today, in this government, we have coronavirus, and this government does numerous development in the process. And at the same time, you have Russia and Ukraine going to war. Even today in the great United States, you have people that are facing the difficulties of the same economic issue. Is Liberia different from the war? No. And this guy doing his business in the name of everything is not working. But yet still, they cry, even with the standard bearer they have, spoke about road to market. And today this government built road. You say the government does nothing? You talks about electricity, 12 consecutive years the government stay in power. The money spent to renovate the hydro was more than the one that built the hydro. And today this government extended electricity to the various counties. You talk about the government doing nothing, economically the country is suffering. You talk about schools. The government giving you school. You talk about hospital. You have the 14-bedroom military hospital. You have the Emory Hospital in Mangibi. You have locked up development, numerous uncomfortable development that the government have. Then you say the government does nothing. Then you say the country is stagnated from economics.
Let's come to you, Peters.
Yeah, so President Weah continues to tell the people of Liberia that during his second term, he will bring more development. And the first thing I said the basic that one can comfortably go to the pool and to vote for President George Weah. President Weah government will decentralize everything you see in Montserrat when it comes to development. He intends to build sport parks in the rest of the country. He intends to decentralize government more than ever before. And so all President Weah need from you, the citizen, is to elect him on the first ballot. The building of the new dam, the other day, the ELBC CEO here, on Monica Town, he informed the public that the building of the new dam is in start. All these things can only happen on the watch of President George Weah. President Weah is in the interest of the country and its people. That's why he is telling you that really let me so that we can let you live. The paying of wire fees, the free tuition policy. Because God forbid when these people are elected, they won't do these significant policy that are today helping and empowering the paper bus seller, the pepper seller, children.
Okay. Let's hear you, Thomas.
Their fear here, from the other angle, they do not want him to be called the father of modern Liberia, President George Weah, and that is a fight that is ongoing. For many years, Titi, he was being condemned, reduced in the public. Sarah's production came about, and he fought his way. He remained as a peaceful person, committed to the struggle of his mother country, not for him to disrespect any political leader. He worked with even the chaotic regimes and take order in the interest of the country. We all want the death to him. He mounted to the nation higher seat. You and I live here, and at the end of the day, the narrative changing gradually. They are being provoked because of what they said to the people in the past about him. It's a strange things happening in our society that he could not do nothing. There are people who make the telephone call. They have given their testimony. I have not lived in Banjo. President George Weah does not live in Banjo, but he seeks the interests of the people. And you listen to the caller say that we will not be ungrateful to him. You listen to another caller, the language in contradictions, and I do not know whether he can better comprehend, and said that people are not buying in the market, are being chaotic. You are not even truthful to the creator that made you. You are not truthful to yourself. So we need to be careful with them. One of his utterance when he went to Bon County, if I could have the power, I could build houses for each and every Liberians. And I want to see the transformation of my people. Why? So sometimes we go into our crosses and other things. Why are they hating in this way? And we got to realize that yes, because he has disgraced them politically. President George Weah disgraced them in all directions. So they have put themselves together and they are in a confused state, fretting.
Okay. Tama Johnny of Liberia, why are they hitting him this way? Because he has disgraced them politically. I take that as your parting comment.
Thank you.
And so I'd like to say thank you to you, Ephesians Peters, Tama Johnny of Liberia. Thank you so much for taking up your time.
To say thank you for service.
Thank you for the service.
It was great.
Thank you so much for Sid Mutas this evening on Open Conversation. And thanks to all of you who called and listened. My name is Titi Gibro.
And I'm Washington Tapper. And thank you, gentlemen, for joining up. And we hope that we have more of these conversations in a static moment. Thank you very much. And God bless you.
Our political windows are open.
Thank you. Bye-bye.